It's always so satisfying.
Oh, I was buzzing for a while.
All right.
Thank you.
We have a really light agenda, so I'm just drawing things out.
Make it worth coming.
I just messed myself up now. Okay. Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Grand Marais Public Library Board of Trustees on Thursday, July 28th, 2022 at 5:07 p.m. We'll do roll call and introduction of visitors. I'm Dave Mills, County Commissioner and the current Board President.
I'm Kevin LaVore, I'm the Vice President.
Sue McClone, trustee.
Sarah McManus, trustee.
Ed Olymphere, trustee.
Kristen Wazeski is here. She is the Assistant Director, and I'm Amanda St. John. I am the Library Director.
We also have Shane Steele, Sustainability Coordinator for the City of Grand Marais, and Jan Smith, the President of the Library Friends. And then Helen Muth, too. She's the ALS representative, so welcome, everybody. We have next our consent agenda, which includes our normal agenda, the minutes and the bills, and we are asking to add Shane to our agenda. So we'd be changing that agenda, and we can put that, maybe after Jan, if that's okay with everybody. Does that make sense, Amanda?
That makes sense. Helen, were you hoping to speak then?
Not necessarily. I can chat after the meeting.
Well, if there's something, you'd like to share with the board, that'd be nice, but.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll add Helen as well after Shane.
And then one more thing is I have just a couple of typos in our minutes. We've got Kevin's last name spelled incorrectly, so I'm going to make those discrete changes, and I think that's all I want to speak to about the consent agenda.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Wait, the agenda still has the wrong, or the one that I have is the wrong date on there for the next meeting. Yeah, it
Yep,
still does,
yep, July 28th.
which is today.
Yep, so we'll want to change that to, what is it, August? I don't have my calendar yet, but it's a coming.
These extra copies.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Should be the 25th, I think.
25th of August. Everything's blowing up on my screen. At 5 p.m.?
Yep.
Very good. Well, with those changes and additions, is there anything else from anyone on the board? Else, I'd entertain a motion for that consent agenda.
I'll move the consent agenda.
Thank you, Kevin. Is there support?
I'll second.
Thank you, Sue. And any further discussion there? Hearing or seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. That brings us right up to Jan. Come on down.
I'm just stopping in to update you on a few of our activities. We're in full swing trying to sort books and box them up and be organized for next Friday. Someone just donated 10 boxes this morning, so I have a couple good volunteers I can call on at a minute's notice. I guess I estimate we've had somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 boxes of books so far.
Awesome.
And we're getting through it. The sale will be up at odds and ends. The book room, when we left today, was fully stocked.
Oh,
They are open tomorrow and Saturday, so there will be some shopping, but we have plenty of books. They are going to clean out shelves and hutches in the front part of their store if you've been out there. And we will set up books out in front of the store. And we're going to have specialty shelves of limited number of books of a certain subject. So those will all be labeled. All the proceeds from book sales will go to the Friends of the Library. We're kind of excited about that after 2 years of just enough donations to get us by. And so we're kind of looking forward to this and being able to help out a little more than we have. So if you like books, come on up and shop. Other than that, we are still going ahead with the pickup truck opera. I think that's all set up. We've invited a couple other groups of children to join in.
Okay.
The camp kids up at the Y, I have stopped in to 2 daycare centers just to let them know if they would like to bring their children down to watch it. I do believe Grand Portage is trying to send a bus down. So,
Cool.
You know,
August 11th, right?
yeah,
Yep.
10 o'clock in the morning. The pickup truck opera is also doing 2 full performances, one in Hovland and one here in town, I believe. And so it's supposed to be very interesting.
No doubt.
And that's about it.
Well, please tell everybody about the lovely gift you gave to our staff at the beginning of the month.
We kind of felt that Amanda and her staff, after the flooded rooms and everything, needed a little pickup. So we treated them to a pizza lunch.
Awesome.
Nice.
Very
Pizza and bars, and Andy made a
Salad
wonderful
and-
salad.
Wow.
And so we had a picnic out on the lawn. And so,
Awesome.
Four of the friends came and sat with all of our staff. It was so nice.
yeah.
Oh,
And it was a
good.
nice day too. I mean, it did rain, a little cool, but it was nice to sit down and visit and
Yeah.
kind of tell them how much we appreciate them.
Thank you for doing that. That's incredible.
Okay. So,
Thanks.
but that's about it. I'm lucky that I put out a call to past board members that we needed help, and I've had 3 of them step up. We have the wonderful Jack Miller back. He was the book sorter in past book sales for the big ones. And Beth Blank has stepped up and came back in with us. So that's
Great.
kind of nice to see old faces coming back.
Yeah.
And so we're looking forward to next week, I think.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes in kind of a confined space like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot different than the community center arena. So, but, you know, there should be something for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
It's a good tradition.
Yeah. Mhm. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Any questions
you.
for
Thank
Jan?
you.
All
No?
right.
Okay, I'll come back in a month or so and give you another update.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Then, Mr. Shane Steele, you're next.
Hi.
Come on down.
Thanks for having me on such short notice.
But of course.
I think I was here last in May talking about the air source heat pump project. And back then, we were thinking the timeline was going to be a lot faster than what it is. But coordinating the heat pump with the flood damage reconstruction, it sounds like that's not going to happen until this fall. So we have more time, and you had questions about the 2 proposals that we brought forth. And last time you were leaning towards Twin Ports' proposal, but had some questions. I reached back out to Twin Ports, and their second proposal is in the memo, which you received late. It wasn't in your packet. I was out of town, so I didn't get the new proposal in the packet, but last time we were unsure if they would be able to reuse the refrigerate pipes that were in the walls. And Twin Ports came up in June. They looked at it, took a close look at what we're talking about. They're pretty confident that they can use them. And in fact, in there it says existing refrigerant lines have been confirmed to be installed, and they're going to flush those and then and use the current ones that are in the air conditioning lines. That didn't change the price at all. And a few other things are included in there, like all the connections and the slab or stand or whatever they're going to put the outdoor unit on. So there's more details here than we had last time.
Thank you. I can't even remember the other proposal now.
Yeah, what was the price before? Is it the same?
This one's the same.
This-
Jamar was at about a little over 21,000.
Okay.
The original proposal from Twin Ports, am I saying that
Yeah.
correctly? It was 17,000-ish,
Okay.
and now it's
That's right.
17,800, I believe. I also wanted to say that there is a local person here that does air source heat pumps, and we talked to that person as well, but they're just too busy.
Is it county? County?
Mm-mm.
No, the old Viking is now called
Oh.
AMAX.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
They've transitioned then. That's,
Mhm.
yes.
They're moved. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
and they had a business down somewhere
Yeah.
south of here, moved their business up here, or maybe they have two. Don't know exact details, but
Yeah. They're here.
we tried to reach out, but
Okay.
yeah, very busy.
Yeah.
So
They'll be working with us to remove the heating and cooling in August.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
yeah, so I guess we're here showing you this. Last time you had approved us to just pick one. And now I think we're here to say that here's more information, and now you have time
Pick one.
to
Oh,
pick
oh,
one.
Oh, oh. Okay. Yeah, and can you remind us too, just about the communications you've had between the two, response time and working relationships or history, and that was something we were talking about
Yeah.
last time too, and it's been a couple months, so.
Yeah, so we have a working relationship with Jamar, the city does,
Mhm.
and they come up and do regular service on the new Public Works garage, and they've done work at the library, so we have a history with them. Twin Ports is a business that's been around for more than a decade, so they have a good history of work. My communication with them has been good. They've been responsive. Everyone gets busy, so sometimes there's been delays, but every time I've reached out and said, hey, like for example for this, we have a deadline to get this in a packet or something, and they get it back to me, and then I drop the ball in getting it in a packet.
Yeah, no big deal there.
They've made 2 trips up to Grand Marais to look at the library in person, and both times things went well. So yeah, I think both companies are good.
Yeah. What do you guys think about? You want to mull it over, or I would rather make a decision sooner than later. But if you want more time, then that's.
I wish we had both so we could, maybe people have better memories than me, but so we could remember what we were comparing here.
I'll try to pull it up here quick.
Yeah, it's possible I could make it go up there for you.
Ooh.
Do
What
you
were the
want me to
differences?
I think it was like $4,000, and then I can't remember. This one wasn't as specific before. Is that right?
Right.
And then now it is.
Yes,
This
I
one
remember
just
that.
said heat pump and gave us a number, and the other one gave us some of the details of the heat pump project, kind of like this, and the number, and that one was much more of a firm number. It was, whereas previously, I mean, this says estimate at the top, but they've now come back and really given us their best estimate.
Yeah. Yep, and I pulled Jamar's up here, unless there's another.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And even this isn't that specific as far as the unit is concerned. And so this is really helpful, and I really appreciate this just from the county building perspective, because we are also installing mini splits up at the courthouse, and we're getting drastically different numbers than this. So I'm curious about which BTUs we're purchasing up there, and I'll pass this along to our maintenance director as well. So thank you for
Yeah,
looking at
and
that.
talking with Twin Ports, you know, they really like this unit, and they like Mitsubishi, and that's kind of who they work with. So yeah, he's got a lot of experience with Mitsubishi products, and they have a good track record.
Mhm. There it is. I think that's the meat.
It kind of loosely describes the work that they're going to do. They didn't specifically say which, like, I mean, here Twin Ports is giving us an exact
Yeah.
model.
Yeah.
So I wish, since we don't really know anything, is there someone with expertise who can compare these two and say, well, this is a better unit than this unit, or something like that? Otherwise, obviously you might as well go with the cheaper one, but maybe we're,
Well, Mitsubishi is that's a good brand. I guess just anecdotally, I don't have personal
yeah,
experience.
we
But-
don't really know.
But Jamar doesn't have a specific unit, like a brand or
Yeah,
anything.
so,
And the Twin Ports is cheaper, so that
Yeah,
seems
seems-
to be like the way to go. But
yeah, seems like cheap is best unless there's some obvious reason
Right.
that would be better.
and what we were talking about was a little bit about that working relationship. But I'm confident that Twin Ports can provide that just based on your experience thus far. So.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons they didn't include a brand in Jamar's is there were some issues with supply chain shortages. They weren't sure exactly which one they could get us, and we weren't sure of our timeline at the time that this came out. So that could be the reason.
Are you able to speak to, do they have another thing of breaking out that they're charging, one group is charging, Jamar is charging more for labor or charging more for, or is it hard to tell?
It's hard to tell.
Okay.
We don't have any line item here for how much labor will be versus how much the unit
Yeah.
is. So no, I can't really.
Well, and I guess we would go for the cheaper price here than not being able to compare apples to apples.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic because we were asking for more details from Twin Ports, and now they're like way more details than Jamar. So
That's nice to get
yeah,
us these
yeah,
details.
yeah, absolutely. So maybe ironic is the wrong word there.
I mean, it would have been nice to, and maybe you want to ask is, maybe Twin Ports is figuring that this is going to cost them $100, and Jamar is saying it's going to cost us 150 hours. Then when we think, okay, do they have better tools, or are they just underestimating their time?
Mm-hmm.
I prepared thousands of quotes in the job I had, and we would tell the person, this is what we can do and this is what it's going to cost. And
Okay.
it's our business how we do it. And do we make money or don't we make money? And of course, we want to make money, so, we figure out also you had to prepare often technical report so that your technical expertise was being sold also.
And I think that's what my conversations with Twin Ports, this is their quote, and they'll, if they have to do it in 100 hours or 150 hours, this will be the cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were confident they could get it done in a few days, and they were confident that they could get it done kind of within our schedule of when the library has to be closed or partially closed for the flood construction.
Okay.
So, And then just one more thing about Jamar's is this was like, they do a lot of these. So this was their standard, like, you want to put in a heat pump, we know how to do it, and this is how much it costs for us to do it. So not a lot of technical, they didn't know the unit, but that was a firm number.
So do we make the decision, or do we recommend to the executive director?
I think you're looking for direction there, eh, Amanda?
That'd be great.
So we do.
Because I want to, so it is, asking, because do I move to recommend to the executive director she accepts this one, or do I move that the board accepts this bid?
Yeah, I think, the motion would be, to accept this bid, that we accept the bid.
I move we accept the bid from Twin Ports for the heat pumps.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Kevin. Any further discussion? Any reservations? I feel like we got the info we wanted, and it's less money, and that's awesome, so. And here's to new relationships, right?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good work, Gumshoe. Okay, and then that brings us on to Helen. Oh,
Here you go.
Sorry, you have to stand.
yeah, well, it's a bring your own chair sort of situation.
For me to stand. I just picked up one. Uno.
And
We go through your name all the time when I come here.
Anno, yeah.
Uno, yes. I haven't played Uno for a long time.
Did you call it Uno?
I called him Uno just now.
No, but the cards. Did you call it Uno?
Oh, what is it?
I called it Uno.
Uno.
That's Spanish for one.
Well, I don't speak Spanish. Do you want
You
to
know.
talk about
Well, good one.
Maybe I should just walk in again.
No, that was fun.
I took some books over to Odds and Ends.
10
And-
boxes, perchance?
No.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
carried one sack, and I carried them from recent reading from Drury Lane and our book club. So they are, I know and the person who received it, the volunteer, was also in my book club. So it is a tight-knit organization.
Yeah.
It was, and I don't know who could come up with 10 boxes. But I think she said Mike, and I think about Mike Carlson, but he's so busy doing everything, I don't know how I could read 10 boxes. Anyway, so I'm very happy for the Friends. And some of the names she mentioned about the old faces were ones that I worked with. And so that was really neat that we're pulling them out
Yeah.
again.
Out of the woodwork.
Yeah, well, yes, that's true. The only thing that I have that's new that Amanda doesn't know, I think she probably knows, but she didn't get the announcement, that ALS is going to have the bids open for their roof. And it's going to be on the 11th of August. And there is a call out to the board members to join with them. It will not be Zoom, but we will be able to see the opening of the bids. And so we will, but then our meeting in August is, I think, a day or so before then.
Oh.
If it isn't, it'll be a day or so afterwards.
After,
Yeah.
What
But-
time is the bid opening? Do you know?
Well, I have an email to that effect, so
Okay.
would you like to know?
Well, it's just that the truck opera is at 10. So if you don't want to conflict there. 10 a.m. I'm kind of teasing, but
Well,
are you
good.
familiar? Oh.
No, it's very hard to tease someone when they don't know what you're talking about. But, I don't, I've never heard of
The truck opera?
that is it,
Yeah.
yeah. See, I didn't hear you say that just so clearly.
Oh, well, I mumble often. so-
Well, but that's okay. I listen mumble. That was the way it is. But I'm really, really pleased too, and Amanda said she would pass it along, and you may already know, but I thought it was wonderful that you made your decisions about the ALS bump up and that the city. I liked listening to what was going on at the city because I thought there were some very strong voices in support of the library.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the part that I really did like, because I feel like that is actually setting in the right location, because libraries, I've read articles related, libraries are not just books.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of, and this is like national that I'm talking about, and that the opportunities that people have through the library. And once you get your back wall organized, which you can organize, I'm sure, that it will be a lot of opening up of social type of things that can happen at the library. And I was glad to hear about the pizza in the library front yard. I mean, these are things that, even though I've been pretty isolated with health issues, that this means that I can just look at what's going on, but I can also read about what's going on, and that's really, really fine. And I want you all to know that I walked from my house, which is what, 3 blocks?
Yeah.
And it's the first walk I've had in a couple months.
Congratulations.
Right, I mean, I did it to demonstrate that I'm still for you.
Well, and don't push it though, right?
Now you have to go uphill, I imagine.
Well, I have another little jog that I'm going to make on the way up, so I'm going to be doing a lot of resting.
Oh, boy.
I
Yeah.
break down that long walk.
Well, you could take breaks along the way, right?
Right. My father-in-law did that. He just had to walk from the SOB up to the corner of 3rd, and he used the seat that was in front of one of the apartments.
Mhm.
I mean, in front of one of the homes at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
so-
bench for a little
Uh-huh.
breather.
Yeah, and I remember once he brought home a couple of potatoes, and I said, "Oh, I could bring you 5 pounds of potatoes." And he says, "No, I'd like to get them as I need them," and that was, from Johnson's. And isn't it great, as I digress, isn't it great that Johnson's now has set up? If you've been in there, I was just in there not even an hour ago. It is just bustling. Things are, I think, of course I always think, but I had the impression that maybe they were doing a sell down of the inventory
Oh,
before the final transaction, which makes a lot of sense business-wise.
mhm.
And they've just, they have the aisles full of boxes and it's being loaded. So those boxes might be good for packing books.
Aha. Well, and just to keep you all in the loop too, Amanda and I were at the city council meeting that
Yes.
Helen mentioned, and went through the budget and talked about the ALS increase and talked about health insurance increase, and that's about it. Mainly it's just health insurance increase, and not a lot of pushback. Mayor Jay just asked if we had considered dipping into the fund balance, and I basically said no, because
But
that's
that
just not a good
no was
operation.
so important.
Well, thank you. It just and I just kind of explained why no.
Right, I know you did.
Yeah, and they were like, okay, and as Helen said, there was a lot of vocal support as well from council members. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Good
that.
luck.
Huh?
I'm glad you were able to get your bid. I'm wanting a heat pump at the cabin. Maybe I'll need to consult.
Yeah, go for Twin Ports. I think they've got a good thing going here.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
I wonder if they do the gunplay. Maybe Sue will.
Yeah. Yeah. To be determined. Thank you, Helen.
Oh, thank you. I enjoy meeting with you all.
Well, I enjoyed as well. All right, and that moves us down to Amanda's report.
Okay, so I really do apologize for all of the P's and Q's and things that are getting out of place, the I's and the T's. I am surprised by how hard it is to function with one less 25-hour employee. And sort of my restaffing plan, everybody's been bumping down. Kristen is training full bore in cataloging, and Melissa is working on a much overdue weeding project for us, and Kristen is also staffing the desk, and then we have vacations and some sick leave being used, and so it's amazing how quickly you realize you don't have anyone on the desk. And so that's kind of the picture of what's going on right now, that we're all pitching in, we're all doing our best, we're all going to make this work our best, but it is challenging, and little things like this are kind of popping up now. The county had their first look at the budget. There wasn't a whole lot of discussion there. They're going to look at it a little later on. Perhaps they'll get some feedback from the city about insurance, is what I hear they're looking for. But, so that's where that is. No, nothing needed on our part yet. I met with Deborah Caldwell-Stone today, who's the intellectual freedom lady who helped us talk about our collections policy, which is still paused, waiting to be revamped. She's doing fabulously. It was great to see her, and lots of changes in her department, understaffing there too, and she just wanted to see how we were all doing and to send her love to us and our work on that policy. Yeah, so that was fantastic. And then I also met with the racial equity group of the Joint Powers, now known as Community
Leadership?
Elected Leaders Group, and particularly the Racial Equity Task Force. So the deal there, and David could tell us more about it, is that they're in the next 18 months, this group is really hoping to amplify programming and education around racial equity issues. And so I went to see how the library could participate, support, and help that movement. Gwen Danfelt from Drury Lane Books is going to be leading some community reads between August and throughout the 18 months, depending on the appetite from the public. And although she's doing most of the work around those conversations, she's partnering with CCHE for location. She is working through CCHE to get childcare, because that may be one of the barriers, is that families aren't able to attend because they have to. I have a little one at home. So, and then the library's role in that is particularly, we are circulating lots of extra copies of the books. We are sure that there are ebooks and e-audios in Libby. We have some extra audiobooks and lots of copies of the books coming. So that's our first layer of support, is just making sure that people can access the content for free. We'll also help promote it. And then Erica is making a book list for individuals wanting racial equity topics or content for each of the younger age groups. And then looking out a little bit further, Erica is thinking about incorporating a racial equity conversation book in her Wondrous Readers Society. So we already have the group formed and people coming regularly. So that we might look at that as a book choice for that group and a discussion. And then there are some ideas for story time. But then that's all going to have to be balanced out with the rest of what's going on. Another thing that I would be interested in, when the county did the Understanding Racism with John Moore, and the conversation that he did, he was talking about being a member of People's Institute and really wanting to see that brought to the county. So I have just sort of lightly opened the conversation with Kelsey over at CCHE. I don't know if that's a great fit for us right now, if it can happen at all, but I thought it was one other layer of education that we could think about and be a partner in. So, I believe that those are the points I wanted to cover. Do you guys have questions for me, or what's on your hearts right now?
And remind us, what's the plan for the 25 hours a week person? Are you advertising?
The position is advertised. We are receiving applications, and we're looking to go forward with a hiring process. And the position will remain open until filled.
Can you say how many apps you've done so far, or is that?
I would say under 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But still, it's more than zero.
It's more than
right?
zero.
Yes, and that's, that's something these days, I think.
Yeah.
And what are the requirements you're advertising for?
The library clerk needs to have a GED or high school diploma and 6 months of customer service experience, like solid customer service experience.
Oh, that seems doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I think everyone should have, right? Thank you for joining up with the Racial Equity Work Group. I've missed the last two meetings. There was one just last night that I missed.
Well, they still consider you a regular.
Yeah, well, good. But that just sounds like really hard hitting. Getting that many books, available. That's awesome.
Thank you.
To get that collaboration going is really powerful. So thank you for stepping up there. Well, I don't have any questions, I guess.
Just appreciation.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
Thank you so
balancing
much.
a whole lot this summer.
Yeah.
And again, you're with this, are you able to take the time you need for vacation, family, that kind of stuff? No.
We're working it in. We're working
on
it in. Yeah, I can't remember if it was last month or the month before that I got my time, and this month is for staff. A lot of my staff are taking some time, much
Okay.
needed.
Well, and from my perspective in the past, and this is way back, this is probably before Steve, I remember nobody at the desk and having to wait a while for someone to be able to come to the desk. So people can wait a little bit if they need to, and we spend enough time browsing, right, that we can spend some time just waiting at the desk.
Oh, the patrons are doing great. Yeah, we're still getting a lot of positive feedback and interest in what's going on with the flood, and excitement about the summer reading program, and enthusiasm that the library is open at all, and all of that is still pretty favorable.
Yeah, excellent. Okie dokie. Thank you, Amanda. And then I don't think there's anything else, is there? Let's see, communications. We've got the fund statement there. And as we previously corrected, the next meeting is August 25th at 5 p.m. Bada bing. Anything else from anyone? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there support?
Second.
Thank you, Sue. We are adjourned.
Another short one.
Yep, longer than last time, though. That was a record, I think, last time.